All right, welcome. If you've ever tried to make a real, lasting change in your life, you probably know it's not about some single dramatic event. It's about a daily practice. In this explainer, we're going to dive into a really practical framework for exactly that, what the source material calls an adventure in living.
You know, it's pretty easy to live with purpose and feel good when everything's going your way. It's a breeze. But the real test, right, the acid test, is can we do it under all conditions, in fair weather, but also in foul? That's the real challenge this is all about.
And this gets right to the heart of it. What if we stopped waiting for that lightning bolt moment to fix everything? Lasting change isn't an event. It's a daily practice, a consistent, conscious habit of looking at ourselves and making small corrections, day in and day out.
So, let's start the adventure. Our starting point isn't some complex theory, but a set of really practical tools designed for a new way of living, one day at a time.
Okay, so what's the main thing that gets in our way? Well, the source uses this fantastic metaphor that I think we can all relate to, the emotional hangover. And this is really the key problem that our daily practice is designed to solve.
So what exactly is an emotional hangover? It's that gunk, that residue of negativity from yesterday. The anger, the fear, the resentment that we carry with us. It's the emotional baggage from the past that clouds our present and stops us from living freely and effectively today. And come on, we've all been there.
So, how do we manage this hangover? The tool is something called a continuous personal inventory. Now, this isn't about endlessly digging up the past and beating ourselves up, not at all. It's a habit of honest self-appraisal that helps us correct our course right now so we can move forward.
And this is what I love, how practical this all is. The inventory isn't just one big, scary thing. It's broken down. There's a spot check you can do right in the moment when you feel yourself getting knocked off balance. There's a daily review to kind of take stock of things before you go to sleep. And then there's the periodic house cleaning to look at the bigger picture and your long-term progress.
Okay, now this is a challenging idea for sure, but it is an incredibly powerful tool if we use it right. The point isn't to blame ourselves for everything. It's about shifting our focus. Instead of obsessing over what somebody else did to us, we look at what's going on in us. When we're disturbed, it's a signal to look inward, find our part in it, because that is the only part we can actually change.
So where does all this inward-looking work actually lead? It leads to what the source calls a spiritual awakening. Now, I know that phrase can sound pretty lofty, a little out there, so let's break down what it really means in practical, down-to-earth terms.
And let's just be honest about it. For a lot of us, the phrase spiritual awakening can sound totally abstract, maybe even a little sketchy. But the way it's defined here is actually much more grounded and, frankly, much more useful.
And here it is. This is the crucial point. A practical awakening is simply gaining new capabilities. It's about becoming able to do, feel, and believe things you just couldn't before. It's handling a tough situation with calm instead of panic. It's feeling a sense of peace where before there was only despair. It's a tangible, real shift in what you're capable of.
And this new state of being, it doesn't just happen by accident. It's described as a gift, yes, but it's a gift that we become ready to receive. It's the direct result of putting in the work, of being consistent with this practice.
So we've done the internal work, we've started to feel that internal shift. Now what? Now the focus turns outward. It turns to action. And this is where the real purpose, the real joy, starts to kick in. I mean, this quote just says it all. The whole point of doing this internal cleanup isn't just to feel good sitting by ourselves. It's to free ourselves up to be useful to other people. The joy of living isn't found in just thinking about it. It's found when we take that newfound stability and put it into action in the world.
And right here, we find this beautiful, totally counterintuitive truth. The source calls it the divine paradox. It's this idea that when you truly help someone else without expecting anything back, no thanks, no recognition, not even wanting a particular outcome, that's when you receive your own reward. A sense of peace and purpose you couldn't get any other way. It's amazing.
Okay, so now we come to the final and maybe the biggest challenge of them all. You know, it's one thing to practice these ideas in one little corner of our lives. It is a whole other thing to apply them to, well, everything.
The source basically presents us with a stark choice. We can two-step, just apply a few of the principles superficially. It feels good for a bit, but it leaves us totally vulnerable when a real crisis hits. Or we can aim for 12-stepping, making an honest effort to practice these principles everywhere, building genuine resilience for all the stuff life is going to throw at us. And when it says all our affairs, it really means it. We're talking about applying these principles to the tough stuff, to complicated family situations, to our daily work, to how we handle failure just as much as success, even to the hardest things imaginable, like poverty, sickness, and loss. But it is so important that we end on this final reassuring thought. This is not, I repeat, not about achieving perfection. That's impossible. This is a lifelong journey where the real goal is simply progress, just being a little better today than we were yesterday.
So, to make this real for you, right now I want to leave you with this final thought. Looking back on your day today, what is one single thing, one thought, one action, one interaction that you could honestly review right now to help make your tomorrow just a little bit better?